Hi, I'm Gerardo. I'm here with the Mass readings for Wednesday, February 7th, 2018, Wednesday of the 5th week in Ordinary Time, from the Lectionary 331. The first reading is from 1 Kings chapter 10, verses 1 to 10. The Queen of Sheba, having heard of Solomon's fame, came to test him with subtle questions. She arrived in Jerusalem with a very numerous retinue, and with camels bearing spices, a large amount of gold, and precious stones. She came to Solomon and questioned him on every subject in which she was interested. King Solomon explained everything she asked about, and there remained nothing hidden from him that he could not explain to her. When the Queen of Sheba witnessed Solomon's great wisdom, the palace he had built, the food at his table, the seating of his ministers, the attendance and garb of his waiters, his banquet service, and the burnt offerings he offered in the temple of the Lord, she was breathless. The report I heard in my country about your deeds and your wisdom is true, she told the king. Though I did not believe the report until I came and saw with my own eyes, I have discovered that they were not telling me the half. Your wisdom and prosperity surpassed the report I heard. Blessed are your men, blessed these servants of yours, who stand before you always and listen to your wisdom. Blessed be the Lord your God, whom it has pleased to place you on the throne of Israel. In his enduring love for Israel, the Lord has made you king to carry out judgment and justice. Then she gave the king 120 gold talents, a very large quantity of spices and precious stones. Never again did anyone bring such an abundance of spices as the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. The word of the Lord. The Responsorial Psalm. Today's responsorial psalm is Psalm 37. The response is, "The mouth of the just murmurs wisdom." The mouth of the just murmurs wisdom. Commit to the Lord your way. Trust in him, and he will act. He will make justice dawn for you like the light. Bright as the noonday shall be your vindication. The mouth of the just murmurs wisdom. The mouth of the just man tells of wisdom, and his tongue utters what is right. The law of his God is in his heart, and his steps do not falter. The mouth of the just murmurs wisdom. The salvation of the just is from the Lord. He is their refuge in times of distress, and the Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them, because they take refuge in him. The mouth of the just murmurs wisdom. Today's Gospel is the Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 7, verses 14 to 23. Jesus summoned the crowd again and said to them, "Hear me, all of you, and understand. Nothing that enters one from outside can defile that person, but the things that come out from within are what defile." When he got home away from the crowd, his disciples questioned him about the parable. He said to them, "Are even you likewise without understanding? Do you not realize that everything that goes into a person from outside cannot defile, since it enters not the heart, but the stomach, and passes out into the latrine?" Thus he declared all foods clean. But what comes out of the man, that is what defiles him. From within the man, from his heart, come evil thoughts, unchastity, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, licentiousness, envy, blasphemy, arrogance, folly. All these evils come from within, and they defile. The Gospel of the Lord. Here are some thoughts on today's scripture. After defending himself against the accusations of some of the Pharisees and scribes, as we read in yesterday's gospel, about his not observing the traditions of the elders, Jesus now turns to the people. He enunciates what for him is the main principle. Nothing that goes into the body from outside can make a person ritually or religiously unclean. What makes a person unclean is the filth that comes from inside their mind and spoken through their mouth or expressed in action. This was a major issue in the earliest days of the church and was dealt with by the Council of Jerusalem. The story is told in the Acts of the Apostles. The first Christians were all Jews who continued to observe Jewish customs. But when non-Jews began to be accepted into the Christian communities, should they also be obliged to follow these laws and customs? It became clear that from a religious point of view, no food could be called unclean. This helped to break down the barriers between Jew and Gentile. It has been pointed out that immediately after this, as we will see in tomorrow's reflection, Jesus entered Gentile territory, something he did not often do in his own ministry. Even Jesus' disciples seemed shocked by Jesus' teaching, probably reflecting the reactions of some of the early Jewish Christians. Jesus repeats what he says in the light of the kingdom he was proclaiming. No food that goes into a person from the outside can make a person unclean. Food does not go into the heart, but into the stomach, and ultimately passes out as waste. Real uncleanness is in the heart, in the mind. Real uncleanness comes from inside people in the form of evil thoughts, unchastity, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, licentiousness, envy, blasphemy, arrogance, folly. This is real uncleanness, and the source is in ourselves and not in what we eat. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day.